Hey legends, welcome back to another PKT video. We are back, we have the face cam, we're rolling now. So today, we are going to talk through the physical deck of Eustass Kid that I have been playing online that I will be going to play in store at one of the tournaments on Saturday. So I'm going to go through and tell you the capabilities, what's best about this card kind of thing. We're going to start from the 1 cost and work our way right up to the, I think it's the 8 cost, and then I'll talk about the event cards also. So first of all, I run 4 Bonnies. So this card is a really good card. So this card is a resource card. So you play it down for 1, you can rest it for 1 again. So you play it down for 1, rest it for 1, you only use 2 Don. You search the deck, well, the top 5 cards on your deck to reveal a supernova type card and add it to your hand. So it doesn't say character, so I'm guessing you can have event as well. Well, we've been doing that because it doesn't state character. So I run 4 of her. She's really good, especially when you need to find a card or you need counter power. So I'll run 4 of her. We'll set her over the side here. Now, this one's, I call this one beige. It is beige, but yeah. He is also a 1 cost. I run 4 of him. So these 2 are out of the starter deck. I got the pre-release one, but I did get another deck that's not pre-released to fill in the cards that I need. So this one is a good card. I normally try and put these 2 down together so the blocker can at least protect Bonnie, if Bonnie's rested. Sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does, but it's a good 1-drop blocker to have in your deck. It works. This is out of OP01. So this is Momnosuke. He is basically Bonnie, but he searches Land of Wano, or Wano cards only. And it does, only states Land of Wano type card. So this is the same again. So you can probably get an event off this card as well. So I only run 2 of these. I don't really have a lot of Land of Wano cards in my deck, but it is good to use to either search or filter it through. Try and filter the deck through a bit. But it does hit sometimes. Majority of the time it does hit. There's sometimes it doesn't, but I only run 2. It does have counter power. Now, I run 2 Apu. I don't really play this card, but it's got a 2000 counter on it. It says rest one of your opponent's cards, Don cards, so when attacking, and you have to place 1 Don underneath that card for that to work. Now, this is the game changer, so when all the new OP01 stuff come out, I kind of ditched some of the starter deck stuff, but I seen this running in a deck on a tournament last Saturday. And there's another card as well. So Rouge. You put 1 Don under him if you have 3 or more characters on board. So if you have 3 or more characters here, you put 1 Don under him and he gains 2000 power. So he ends up being a 6k. A 6k character with 1 Don. I run 3 of him. He is also a counter power as well. So it's always good to have counter power in your deck because you can brick, which means you can not be able to counter out of attacks. So that's the next 2-drop that I do run 3 of. So I was running 4 of these, but now I'm running 2. So this one's killer. This one's out of the OP01 set. And you put 1 Don underneath him on block. If you have 3 or more characters on board with him, you draw a card. So he's a pretty good blocker. I did play 4, but I'm just trying something different. And as you guys have seen on the online game, this is exactly what it is online, on that online sim that I've been playing. We have 4 Nekos. Another 2-drop. So rest one of your opponent's characters with 3 costs or less on play. So this is actually a really good card, especially against red, because there's like Nico, Robin, and a few other ones that are low cost that are pretty, how would I put it, pretty strong. So these are all counter power as well. So I'll run 4 of these. Now, this is the card that was very underestimated. I took this out of my deck when I got OPO1 cards. But it is a trigger card. And if you get it out of your life triggered, you can play it. So it's play this card and it says on play KO one of your opponent's rested characters with a 3 cost or less. So this is really a good card. I run 4 of these. As you can see, I've got 2 super pre-release ones and 2 normal. I think this card is underrated a bit. It is a good card. Because it does have a trigger if it is in life. But it's still a 3 cost. So for 3 costs, you can get rid of a Nico Robin, which I'm more than happy to do. So run 4 of them. Izzo. So I run 4 Izzo. She's a Lana Wano. She's a 2k counter. Her on playability is to rest one of your opponent's characters with a 4 cost or less. So she's really good also. She rests most of the cards in some of the decks. Probably not so much Kaido. Kaido has a lot of high cards. But this card is good to play and good to have in your hand. So I've got 4 of her. I have 2 Okikus. I did have 4. But this card is a really good card. So this is another Lana Wano card. Attach 1 Dom when attacking. So you attach 1 and rest one of your opponent's 5 cost characters with a 5 cost or less. So this is really good. This can rest some blockers. It can rest Nico Robin. It can rest a few other cards as well. So if you can get this card on board and be able to keep it on board, it's definitely going to help you win the game. So we've got another Lana Wano card. We have Rizo. So this guy isn't too bad either. He is, when attacking, once per turn, if you have 2 or more characters rested, draw 1 card. So what you particularly want to do is you want to swing with a different character first, and then you can swing with him. He is now rested. He is now the second character on board. So him having 1 already rested first and then using him as the second one, you can draw a card. He's also got counter power. His draw ability is good too, like Bonnie, except he just draws a card, so you're still getting resources in your hand. Now, this card was in the Super Pre-Release. This one's X-Drake. I run 3. So he's really good. He is put 1 Don, your turn. If this card is rested, your Supernovas and Navy type leaders and characters gain 1,000 power. So you put 1 Don under him, and he's already at 7k. So Rouge becomes 7k. He was a 6k with 1 Don, now he becomes 7 if you rest this card first. Your leader becomes 6. So it's a good buffer to have to buff your characters up. So if you don't have enough Don 2, this will definitely help you. So I run 3 of these. This is the other card I seen in a deck that has won at the One Piece tournament at my local store. I've decided to try the deck out, and I think it's a good deck. But yeah, this is another underrated card that we didn't really think to keep in the deck, I reckon. Next, we have another Lana Wano card. We have Yamato. So Yamato's a bit average. She's a 1k counter. She's a 5-drop 5k. But she has double attack ability, and if your attack gets through, that means 2 life get banished. So if you declare attack on the opponent's leader and they cannot block it, they cannot counter out of it, they lose 2 life straight to the trash. So it is a good card, but at the same time, you've got to be able to get it on board to be able to stick. But only run one of these. So we're moving on to Basil Hawkins. Your turn. If this character battles your opponent's character, set this card as active. So not the leader. If you attack their character that's rested, so you attack it, and then you can restand it. You can choose to attack with it again, or choose to keep it as active. So this card is good too. So he is potentially a 2-swinger card like Captain Kidd as well, the leader. So that is a really good card to have, and he also gets buffered up by X-Drake's ability also. Next we have 4 5k blockers. Now this card, I didn't realise its ability properly, or how to play it properly, until, let's say, 2 weeks ago. It says it's a blocker, it's a 5-drop. It says you may return 1 character to your hand, play 1 character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So I didn't realise how to play that properly. But now I have. So you can swing with the character on board. Now that character is rested, and if you don't want it to get attacked, or you want to bring it back to use its ability, or whatever ability it has, you can play down the 5-drop. You can take back, let's say, I've swung with Basil twice. I can take back Basil, but I can't put him back out. But what I can do is put something out with 3 cost or less in my hand. So I could potentially put out a killer that could diskill a card that's already rested that's a 3 cost or less. So it is a really valuable card in this deck, I believe. So I run 4 of these. I reckon it's a really good blocker. So this next card is Eustass Captain Kidd. So this one is the blocker out of the starter deck. So you put so not in the summoning stage when you first play him down, but the next turn when you can attack with him, you make sure you put a Don underneath him, because that will set the card as active at the end of the turn. So always make sure you put a Don under him. He's an extra swing for 8k. If you've got X-Drake, it'll be 9k. So that is a really good card to have in the deck also. Only run 1. Now, I run 3 Captain Kidds. 8 drops, or 8 costs. So this is another good card. When you have 1 Don attached to it, if this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack any character other than Eustass Captain Kidd. You may rest this card. You may rest this character. Play 1 character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So you can bring him out on board. You can play him. You can rest him. You can get a Don. You put a Don underneath him while he's rested to play out the character. And that block ability is in play, that he can only attack this card. If I have Eustass Kidd's 7-drop, if that card is also rested, he can attack either the blocker or the 8 cost. So that can happen because it's Eustass Captain Kidd card. They're both the same name. So this one can be attacked if rested when you are defending Kidd. So yeah, I run 3 of these. They can be annoying if you get them on board properly, and they can stick. If you can defend Kidd, you've basically won the game. He is very hard to get off board if you can protect him. And lastly, I run 3 Punk Gibson cards. So trigger is rest one of your opponent's cards, but the counter is that you get 4,000 power to the character that's being attacked, and then you can rest one of your opponent's cards with a 4 cost or less. So it is a really good card. I know that there's a lot of cards out there now that are more than a 4 cost or less. But yeah, I actually like Punk Gibson. It's a good card. I only run those 3 events. But yeah, so this is the Captain Kid deck that I run now. This is the one that I've been playing online, and I'm going to be playing tomorrow on tournament to see how it goes. But I reckon it's a really good deck. Just needs to be played right. I appreciate you guys for dropping in, checking out the video, liking the video. Make sure to smash that like button. Those thumbs up is what helps. But yeah, guys, I'll see you all on the next one.